Hey guys, today I'm super excited. I'm gonna show you how we make a dry aged rockfish and beet rose. I dry aged my fish a few days ago and it's ready to go. Also gonna serve that with a mushroom dashi that's super easy to make, just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of love. We're also gonna serve that with a citrus gel that's really gonna make everything pop. That citrus is really gonna bring out the notes of the beet and the fish, and the dashi is gonna really bring some umami to our dish. So I'm super excited to show you this today. We got a lot to do, so let's get after it. All right guys, so first thing we need to do is roast off our beets. Very simple. We just want to just wrap these in a little bit of foil or in a pan, cover it with foil, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, some fresh herbs that I have in the garden, maybe some thyme, rosemary, sage, whatever you like, whatever you feel is totally fine. It's just gonna give it a little extra flavor. Once we roast these off for about an hour, we'll go ahead and check them with a cake tester or a paring knife. Once they go through super easily, no resistance, they're cooked perfectly. All right, so one little trick you can do while the beets are still warm to take the skins off easily is just take a paper towel or a towel and just wipe them clean. Make sure that they're still warm while you do this, because if they cool down, it's going to be very tough to get them off. The next thing I want to show you how to make is a green oil with those beet greens that we saved. We'll take 7 grams of fresh dill and just go ahead and put that in a blender along with 20 grams of our beet greens that we saved from earlier. And then we'll go ahead and just add a nice pinch of salt. And then we'll top that off with 150 to 200 milliliters of avocado oil. Go ahead and blend that up until it smokes. About 140 degrees Fahrenheit is what you're looking for. That'll help kind of activate the chlorophyll, and then we'll go ahead and just strain this through a fine mesh sieve in an ice bath to really cool it down quick. You can make this a lot greener if you add a handful of spinach as well. All right, now let's go ahead and make our mushroom dashi. All right, a medium-sized pot, we'll go ahead and take 800 milliliters of water, and then our 2 leaves of kombu, and we'll just go ahead and place those inside, and then about 6 to 8 dried shiitake mushrooms. We want to go ahead and bring this up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour, and then we'll go ahead and shut that off. All right, once we've slowly simmered our dashi for exactly 1 hour, we'll go ahead and discard our kombu and our shiitake mushrooms. Being sure to squeeze out every last drop of that dashi, you don't want to waste that. We'll add 15 grams of katsuobushi flakes. Let those sit in the broth for exactly 1 minute, then we'll strain that out. The reason why we strain those out after 1 minute is you definitely don't want too much of a smoky flavor in your dashi. All right guys, so our dashi stock is now complete. Packed with umami. This is so delicious. So simple. We're gonna go ahead and let this completely cool down in your fridge until it's nice and chilled. Such a staple for a lot of Japanese cuisine, miso soup, different variations of sauces. Start with this broth. Put it in your arsenal, put it in your repertoire, put it in your portfolio, and save this recipe because this is such a delicious one. We're gonna go ahead and let this cool down in our fridge until it's completely chilled. All right, now let's make our citrus gel. All right, a medium-sized pot, we'll go ahead and take 100 grams of tangerine juice, 100 grams of lime juice, 50 grams of yuzu juice, 50 grams of water, 100 grams of sugar, and 6 grams of agar powder. So we'll go ahead and bring our citrus gel to a boil. Once this boils, we want to let it boil for at least a minute. This will help activate the agar. As you can see, it's starting to come up right here. We'll let this boil for another minute. Once you boiled for 1 minute, we'll go ahead and strain this out. Let it cool down in your fridge until it's completely solidified. All right, so I've talked about this in one of my other videos. I'm gonna show you how to make some pre-hydrated xanthan gum. Very simple, it's just 500 grams or 500 milliliters of water to 10 grams of xanthan gum powder. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna start this blender on low. We'll add our xanthan gum powder. Once our xanthan gum powder is in, we'll go ahead and bring this on high. Once our pre-high is blended, it's ready to go. Highly suggest you just passing this through a fine mesh sieve. Short for pre-hydrated xanthan gum. You can put this to really stabilize and bring together any soup, sauce, or vinaigrette. It's really nice, really versatile. I highly suggest you put this in your arsenal. It's great for if you want to substitute instead of using a cornstarch or a potato starch slurry to thicken a sauce. Keep this in your fridge. It lasts probably for about, I'd say about 2 weeks. After that, throw it away, start a new one, but definitely utilize your pre-high. Once your gel has completely solidified, we'll go ahead and put this in a blender and blend it up. We'll add 2 teaspoons of our pre-hydrated xanthan gum, and then we'll go ahead and blend that together. It just adds a nice little viscosity and gives it a nice sheen. Go ahead and put that in a squeeze bottle and it's ready to be used. All right, next let's cut our rockfish. You can use any sashimi grade fish that you like. I dry aged this a couple days ago. We'll just go ahead and make some nice slices and we'll just lay those out on a plate like you see here. All right, then the same slices we made with the fish, we want to do with the beet. Very similar, just make some half moon slices. We'll go ahead and put those on a plate as well. And then now let's go ahead and lay out our beautiful rows. For the last couple garnishes, I like to slice some radishes super wafer thin and just put those in some ice water, let them kind of crisp and curl up. And then I had some tangerine. You don't have to use this, but it was just something that I thought would add a nice little bit of sweetness and tanginess to our dish. Just making some little wedges. You could use peaches if you want, whatever fruit is in season. So now we're gonna go ahead and lay out our rows. I just took some beet slices and just laid them out. Right on top, very lightly, our rockfish. And then we want to go ahead and just roll this up, being very careful, and you want to just take the under part of the beet and just make sure you pull it up as you're rolling just to keep everything intact. And then here you have your beautiful beet and rockfish rows. Here I split a little bit of that green oil that we made earlier with our dashi just to really incorporate some of that beautiful green color. I highly suggest you make this. It's so nice, it's so dainty, it's petite. Yes, it's at that Michelin star level, so if you really want to wow your guest or your spouse or whoever, definitely treat them to this. Let's give it a taste and see how we did. Folks, I want to thank you again for coming back week after week. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Share this with some family or friends that you think would enjoy this. At the very least, you could give me a like. I truly appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow, and I can't thank you enough. Until then, get out there and make some beautiful beet rows, and I'll look forward to seeing you again on the next video.